designing intervention that we started with a couple of days ago. And today, what I thought I would do is talk about the problem. So we're designing an intervention. I ought to say this. The entire reason we're doing this is so I can show people what we do in market systems development, how we help reduce poverty in the world. And what we do is we select a particular problem, right? Design interventions to solve that problem, but the intervention is driven by the private sector. And what I want to try and do through this is to show you the process that we go through to identifying a problem, creating a vision of the future for the problem, how to resolve the problem, identifying a partner that we'll work with in the private sector that will help us solve this problem, and then solve the problem. So the first step, or the part one of this series, spoke about our intention to focus on access to finance for micro enterprises. So that's what we want to do, but we need to fully understand what the problem is. So this broadcast then talks about what the problem is. So as you can see on the screen, these are the steps that we need to go through. And I'm hoping some of you that are development professionals out there can contribute to this. So in order for us to go through the steps, in this episode, we're talking about the problem. So what's the problem? The problem, we need to understand what the symptoms are. What are the issues that we're thinking about in terms of the problem we want to try and resolve? What's the tool that we're going to use to resolve this problem? And what are the root causes of the problem? So the symptoms then, which we generally technically call the constraints, it's low income from women-owned businesses. So we're beginning to narrow the problem to a particular type of beneficiaries, the women, women-owned enterprises, low school attendance. That's some constraints that we're putting into the mix. Poor nutritional diet. That's some issues that we need to think about. So in order to identify the key problem that we might be able to deal with, we then need to do market assessment and analysis. So I'm now creating a context for the access to finance problem that we're trying to resolve. So imagine we have done the market analysis or market assessment and analysis, and these here are the results of the analysis. So the target beneficiaries would have owned business for 1 year plus, total capital no more than $50, average margin is about 3%. They are generally not members of any trade association. The growth driver of their business is volume and turnover. So the beneficiaries profile themselves, women, semi-literate. They use WhatsApp and for communication. How do they get their entertainment? They get entertainment through phone and community events, physical community. They're married with an unemployed husband. So we're creating a complex situation for what our intervention is supposed to resolve. And they have 2 kids. The 2 children are going to public school, and they need to spend money on uniform and other things that children would need in school. So that's the beneficiary profile. The root causes of this then, so the way we think about the root causes is to say, okay, you have the symptoms of low income from the enterprise. So why is that the case? What we think is that enterprise management skill, poor enterprise management skill. The root cause of that is that there is no service provider. There's nobody providing record keeping services, cash flow management services, business development skills, training these women, these micro enterprises, to upskill themselves in these areas. And then financial institutions. So we feel that access to finance is denied to these people because financial institutions do not, well, I mean, they don't have bank account, they don't have formal identification documents, and financial institutions are not in any, they're not close to where these women are. So this is the context of the problem we'll be solving over the next few days. This is the starting point of any analysis or any intervention. We need to fully understand the market, the profile of the people we want to try and help, and some of the results, some of the drivers that we can use. So that's the context. Tomorrow we'll begin to think about designing intervention, but tomorrow is about a vision we have.